People across the state are bracing for the possibility of more ICE agents coming to Maine. And while the mayors of two of Maine's largest cities have warned about increased enforcement as soon as next week, they're not sharing where this information is coming from. Our reporter Pearl Small has been trying to get details confirmed. Pearl, any luck on finding the original source of these claims?
Well, Chris, they're still not revealing exactly where that information came from, and other local leaders have been hesitant to talk about it. However, those we spoke with say the information they have is reliable enough for them to believe this is likely going to happen soon. And after seeing what happened in Minneapolis, where an ICE agent shot and killed a woman, leading to huge protests and threats from President Trump to use the Insurrection Act to send federal troops into the city, leaders here in Maine seem to agree it's important to send very clear messaging to the public. Cumberland County District Attorney Jacqueline Sartoris was planning to hold a joint press conference with Portland Mayor Mark Dion today to address the issues, but it was canceled because of security concerns. We did still get to speak with Sartoris today, and she told us one of the goals that press conference would have been to remind everyone that no one has immunity when it comes to following state law.
That includes residents, and that includes visitors, and that also means federal agents. It's certainly possible that if you commit a criminal act in Maine, and we have adequate evidence, you could be charged with that crime, in a couple of years. It could absolutely be that that statute carries you past the length of time of this administration.
Sartoris says she would be prepared to file charges against ICE agents if they break the law. However, she wanted to remind people not to send evidence directly to the DA's office because they cannot conduct investigations. That part has to be done through law enforcement. We also sat down with Cumberland County Sheriff Kevin Joyce, who says his department would be prepared to investigate any wrongdoing from either side, whether that comes from ICE or people in the community.
If we see things that don't look good, because we're held to a standard as law enforcement, then my belief is we take information down on what's going on if we have body camera footage, and we look at potential charges on whether or not ICE was doing the right thing.
Sheriff Joyce did want to remind people, though, that while local law enforcement can investigate after an incident happens, their abilities on the ground are limited in a situation involving federal law enforcement. Chris.
So Pearl, how would local law enforcement respond if they get called to a scene where ICE agents are present?
So, Chris, it really depends. Like if it was a protest, for example, Sheriff Joyce says it could be their role to ensure that the public is allowed to safely protest. But if it was ICE carrying out some kind of enforcement action, they likely have no jurisdiction, which is largely why Joyce urges people in the public not to interfere with those federal investigations. Chris.
Been learning a lot about how all of these different agencies interact. We appreciate it, Pearl. Thank you.